Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Saudi Pro League clubs working to convince £45 million Ice to move. The latest report suggests that if Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey were to leave, then he could still end up playing in Saudi Arabia. It has been reported for a while now that Juventus have a big interest in signing the player during the summer transfer window. The same report suggests clubs in Saudi Arabia have been linked too. Now, CBS journalist James Bunge has reported an update on his future. He tweeted, despite this indication from Partey's team that Juventus would be a favored destination if he were to leave Arsenal, Al Ahly are still working to convince the midfielder to make the switch to Saudi Arabia. Al Khalij are also interested. Right now, Al Nasser are out of the race. This suggests that despite Arsenal star Partey wanting to end up in Serie A, he could seriously be heading to Saudi Arabia as they are really trying to convince him to join them. It's no shock to see Saudi Arabia look to Arsenal for some new signings. They are seemingly looking at a lot of players from the traditional Big Six. The reported £45 million signing was a key player for the club but couldn't remain consistent throughout the whole of last season. He was hailed as the most important player at Arsenal, but with so much interest, it does look like he could be departing this summer. For the Gunners, Mikel Arteta clearly wants to improve his midfield as they are reportedly close to signing Declan Rice. Rice would play in the position that Partey currently holds, so Arteta clearly feels like they need a stronger defensive midfielder to challenge for the title. It will be really interesting to see what Arsenal's squad is looking like by the end of the summer transfer window. It looks like there could be a lot of incomings and outgoings at the club. Journalist says he saw £30 million Arsenal player limping yesterday. Martin Odegaard has picked up an injury in pre-season. The Norwegian midfielder was all set to start for Arsenal in their first game of pre-season on Thursday, but he was pulled out of the starting 11 at the 11th hour after picking up a knock in the warm-up. Odegaard didn't play a part on Thursday, and worryingly, he looked in some discomfort during the game. That's according to Football London's Kai Havertz, who noted on his YouTube channel that he could see Odegaard limping on the touchline during the game as he watched on from the press box. Kaynak shared what he saw the £30 million player doing. The main injury I wanted to talk about is Martin Odegaard. He was due to start yesterday and then he picked up a knock in the warm-up. Mikel Arteta confirmed to us that it was a calf knock. I saw him coming out of the tunnel to sit with the team on the bench, and it did look like he was limping a touch. I wouldn't say it was a full-on staggered limp, but he was uneasy walking around, and that's a little bit of a concern. This really isn't good news. Of course, a knock isn't likely to keep Odegaard out for too long, but the fact that he could miss a portion of preseason is very worrying. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal have signed a big talent. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta hailed Kai Havertz after the German made his Gunners debut in a friendly against FC Nurnberg yesterday. Mikel Arteta's side took the lead in the first half through an excellent goal from Bukayo Saka, but the Gunners dropped off in the second 45 and allowed the host to level the game. The big news from yesterday's fixture, however, was Havertz's debut, and Arteta claimed on Arsenal.com that he is delighted to have him. Arsenal signed Kai Havertz from Chelsea in a £65 million deal last month. The German's time at Stamford Bridge wasn't exactly great. Yes, he scored a goal that won them the Champions League, but his performances overall just didn't live up to the hype. Yet, Arteta saw something in him that convinced him to spend the big bucks. Havertz is an Arsenal player, and the Spaniard claimed yesterday that he has a big talent at his disposal now. He said about Havertz, really good. I think he is fitting in really well. He is a real good character. a tremendous player, and we have a big talent now that we have to fit in the right way to give us our best. When asked why he decided to sign him, Arteta said, as quoted by Football London, the talent, the quality, the physicality, and the goal threat that he has shown over the past few years. I think it's true that we have to see how we adapt him the best. He needs to build some relationships on that pitch, but so far he is adapting really well, and we are really happy to have him. When asked if he is a replacement for Granit Xhaka, Arteta added, he is not a replacement. He is not gonna be like for like because everybody's going to be very different to what the Granit gave us. It will be very different, but Kai has tremendous qualities for our way of playing. Arsenal are confident that 22-year-old is going to silence all his doubters this season. Arsenal have high hopes for Julian Timber this season as he closes in on joining the Gunners. Timber is set to sign for the Gunners in the coming hours, and according to the Standard, Arsenal are expecting him to have a fantastic season. Indeed, the Standard report that Arsenal think that Timber will silence all of his doubters this season and show that he is a top-class player who is cut out for the Premier League. Timber may have been tipped as one of the top young defenders in world football in recent years, but as with any footballer, he's had his doubters. Both Winston Bogarde and Marco van Basten doubted him earlier this season after a poor campaign by Ajax's standards, and as ever, there have been questions around whether or not Timber is ready to make his mark at Premier League level after making his name in the Eredivisie. Of course, the Eredivisie is something of a mixed bag in terms of export to the Premier League. As Arsenal fans will know through the likes of Robin van Persie, some Dutch exports can become Premier League legends, but for every Van Persie, you have a Memphis Depay. Timber will be coming in with that weight of expectation on his mind, but Arsenal are confident that he will be able to shut all of his doubters up and become a star at the Emirates. Of course, it remains to be seen how Timber will settle at Arsenal or even where he will play in Mikel Arteta's side, but if Arsenal think they have a gem on their hands here, it stands to logic to believe that the 22-year-old could be a great signing. Mikel Arteta will let Arsenal youngster leave after omitting him from a pre-season. Arsenal youngster Omar Rekik could be set for another spell away from the club after being omitted from a pre-season camp by Mikel Arteta. Rekik had a brief spell away from the Emirates last season as he spent time with the championship strugglers Wigan Athletic. The 21-year-old has been back with Arsenal since that spell, though, and despite being highly rated by some at London Conley, appears to have lost his way a tad. According to a report from Africa Foot, Rekik is now set to leave Arsenal once again. It comes after Mikel Arteta opted not to include Rekik as part of his pre-season training squad. It's claimed that Rekik is in contact with a championship club, while there is also interest from a Spanish side as well. There will be disappointment from Rekik's point of view. Mikel Arteta has included a number of youngsters such as Ethan Nwaneri and Lois Kelly in his preseason squad. Rekik then will need to have a big season out on loan to get himself back in the Arsenal manager's thinking. As it stands, there is no mention of who the two clubs keen on taking Rekik are. It's not unusual for a young player to have a few bumps in the road as they develop, but Rekik looks like he needs a big old year now. The 21-year-old needs to be playing regular football, and in doing so, he needs to be playing well. Rekik will soon find that time is against him, and long term, he might need to consider moving on permanently. It's a big year for everyone involved with Arsenal. Rekik then is no different, albeit for differing reasons, to many in this current squad. Sky Sports journalist says Arsenal will actually pay way more than £105 million for Declan Rice. The Declan Rice to Arsenal transfer saga is finally about to come to an end. That's according to Sky Sports Germany journalist Florian Plettenberg, who claimed on Twitter this morning that the Gunners will complete the deal to sign the midfielder today. However, The journalist has revealed that Arsenal will end up paying more than the reported £105 million to sign Rice. Declan Rice has been Arsenal's top transfer target for months. Rumours about the Gunners' interest in the West Ham skipper first came up at the start of the year before Arsenal started pushing for a move for Moses Caicedo. That deal never happened, but Arteta has been desperate to sign Rice since even before the window opened this summer, and it looks like he will finally get his man today. Plattenberg revealed on Twitter that the deal will 100% be done today. Rice will become a new Arsenal player before the end of the day. But contrary to reports claiming the deal is worth £105 million, the journalist claim it's actually a package worth £120 million, including add-ons. He tweeted, Declan Rice and Arsenal, the transfer will be finalized today. Last paperworks are ready to sign. It will be 100% done this Friday. Rice, he is a new player of Arsenal today. Understand it's a package of up to £120 million with possible add-ons included. A lot of people were complaining when it was reported that Arsenal will pay West Ham £105 million for Rice, but if Plattenberg's update is true, there will be even more noise now. Rice is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He has been sensational for West Ham over the years, and we won't be surprised if the Hammers actually demand £120 million for him. The debate over if Rice is worth that much will be an ongoing one, but the real question is if he is worth that much to Arsenal and West Ham. If both parties have agreed a deal for that fee, it means they feel he is worth the money, so nothing else should really matter at this point. Arsenal plotting move for £20 million complete forward. Arsenal have reportedly set their sights on Santos striker Marcos Leandro. According to Football Transfers, the Gunners have sent scouts to check out the Brazil youth international. The report claims that Arsenal are also weighing up whether to make a move for Leandro. The Gunners have good knowledge of the Brazilian football system and market through director Edu. Arsenal have snapped up some exciting players from the South American country in recent years, such like Martinelli and Marquinhos. Now, Arsenal are seemingly pondering whether to make a move for Leandro, who is very highly rated in Brazil. The 20-year-old has scored 11 goals and 4 assists in 27 appearances in 2023. What's remarkable is that Leandro has only just turned 20, but already has close to 150 appearances for Santos. He has made 146 outings for the Brazilian Giants, registering 44 goals and 11 assists. In terms of price tag, the report claims a fee of around £20 million could be enough to bring Leandro to Arsenal. Leandro has earned comparisons to Neymar and, as per Football Talent Scout, has also been liked to Falcao. The scouting outlet deemed him a complete forward with a 9 out of 10 potential rating. All in all, Leandro seems like a great shout for Arsenal. Let's see whether the speculation becomes more concrete in weeks to come. Player Arsenal wanted to sign has now agreed to join Aston Villa. Moussa Diaby has agreed to join Aston Villa, that's according to Fabrizio Romano, who reports that the French attacker has said yes to the idea of joining the Midlands club. This is very exciting for Unai Emery's side, and it's also a real blow to their Premier League rivals Arsenal. Indeed, Diaby is a player that has long been admired by Arsenal. The Gunners apparently wanted to sign the very exciting Bayer Leverkusen star this summer, but it now looks as though they have fallen behind Villa in the race. We can't help but feel that Unai Emery would be more than happy to get one over his former club on this occasion. Make no mistake about it, this would be a huge coup for Villa. Diaby has been one of the Bundesliga's top performers in recent years, and last season, under Xabi Alonso, he appeared to hit new heights. Not only is Diaby a star in Germany, he appears to be a player ready to take on the Premier League. Indeed, while the likes of Jadon Sancho and Kai Havertz have struggled to make that transition from the Bundesliga to English football, it feels as though Diaby wouldn't have the same struggles. Diaby's skill set and physical profile make him a great fit for the Premier League. He is one of the fastest players in Europe, and he is incredibly direct. And in a league that prioritizes pace so much, he could be a star. Of course, there is some way to go before we can call this one add-on deal as club-to-club negotiations continue, but this looks like it could be on the cards for Villa, and it may well be one of the signings of the summer. Villa fans should be very excited by this one, and it remains to be seen if Arsenal can hijack this deal. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.